Hello.
Hello.
We are here. Oh my god! Do you know what? I'm going to have to close that. Sorry. I've got it going in the corner of my eye, and it's like delayed because it's going to Facebook. So
you can watch you in the past. Is that time travel?
That is. Oh yeah, I could be a time traveller. So, hi guys.
Hello. Hello.
The video starts and we're just having a natter to ourselves. So we're back with another top 10. This is going to be our top 10 underrated games. So we're going to do the same sort of thing as the other week, but we're going to be quicker.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's a timer. 3 minutes. Go.
So yeah. So hopefully this will be. I've been tagged in a post. Don't ignore it.
Just to clarify what we mean by underrated. Hopefully, we meant the same thing when we wrote this list. Underrated is something where we believe is a good game, but we're maybe not seeing it played anywhere. Maybe not at cons. Maybe we're not seeing it on groups. So that's what we believe is underrated.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I don't get much talk about mine. I did cancel one of mine. I will. It's technically my 11 because I changed it because I thought, nah, it's. I think it's a hated game, so I changed it.
but it's loved by you, then it's fine.
Yeah. So
cool.
let's get this going.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
You're first.
Yes. So my number 10 is Spirits of the Forest. So this is the one I changed. To me, I love this game. It is an abstract. It's just beautiful. It's just on the table. It looks gorgeous. It's a stunning. I mean, the box cover. I don't know if Darius can't see it. I don't think, but the box is stunning. I actually backed this on Kickstarter.
I know this one you're on about as well.
Yeah,
is it the people who made Tang Garden?
Yes. Yeah. This was my first ever Kickstarter game. This got me into Kickstarters, and it is just stunning. I love this. It's tile placement. It's set collection. You kind of like moving. It's just such a beautiful game. But yeah, that is basically it. Quick and sweet, and that is my number 10. Moving on to Darius's number 10. That's on there now.
Just now. Okay, so my one is Men at Work, which is a dexterity game, which when you play it, it looks magnificent across the table. I've posted lots of pictures on our groups about this game. You're essentially working on a building site, and you have got health and safety markers that you've got to keep a hold of because essentially the stuff you're doing is hella dangerous. You're putting girders onto workers. You're lifting them up with bricks, and it's just. If it were real life, it would just not be seen. Balancing workers across girders about 60 feet high is the equivalent of what you're playing there. But there's a few elements. I don't know why it's not played as much, or I haven't seen it so much, because it's got the junk art feel to it, but it just is better, I find. The score, there's different ways to win, so it's either you keep going until everyone else is eliminated, or you try and impress Boss Rita to get the highest structures possible. But I don't know why it's not. It's a 7.4, so it's rated highly.
Oh, I never.
But it's ranked 1,170. So it's ranked really low. And as I said, I don't see anyone playing it, but I think more people should play it. Play at the club. We've had some wonderful photos with this particular game. Very tense every time we play it. Good fun. Popular at the club, but nowhere else.
I've never played it. Yeah, this is one I've never played. My previous ranking for Spirits of the Forest, that was a 7.0. Don't know the actual ranking in the list. I didn't actually look at that. That's for next time.
Oh, okay.
I just got the ratings. I got the BGG ratings. Yeah. But yeah. So on to my number 9. So Darius as well doesn't know my list this time.
No, keep it a secret.
I've kept my list a secret. I know Darius's because I have to do this editing, but mine are all a secret. So he's going to be. I think he's going to be shocked with some of them. I mean, I know he likes the next one. So my number 9 is Beast of Balance.
Hey, there you go. Dexterity game.
Is another dexterity game. I love this game. I've got a video with me, Darius, Little Jess, and I've got so many bits, expansions for this, or I've got so many pieces. It's just so fun. You connect it to your app. You just I'm Darius is finding it. I'm so glad he's finding the bits. It is a stunning game on the table. It's all plastic. You've got your tablet. You're creating species. It's just such a fun game. I mean, you have to stack that on. You have to stack just all these crazy shapes on top of each other, and you've got your app. And if it all falls, a volcano starts to go to erupt, and it's sheer panic kicks in when you drop everything. You try and put it all on. I've even sat there before, and I've even tried to push the thing to put the same amount of weight so I can get all the pieces. Never works. Always die.
You're allowed to do that though, but
yeah.
I must admit, what I find very interesting about this is I believe it was one of the first games to run with an app.
Yeah.
So the game does it. The plinth itself is actually Bluetooth, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that links to the app. The app does everything, and it has that Pokemon feel to it, where you're actually trying to collect different.
Yeah.
Have you seen the beast? What is it called? The Beastry, where you're trying to get all the different combinations of creatures as you play.
Yeah. My daughter, she happily sits there playing this game, but she will sit there and just look at the Beastry constantly. But yeah, this one is a 7.0 on BGG. Another 7.0. It's such a good game, but I just don't see people talking about it. Okay, it's an older game now, but
I've seen lots of people selling it, but I'm not seeing people playing it.
But it is so fun. If you like your dexterity games, to me, it's one of the best.
It's a must in your dexterity collection.
Yeah, if you love dexterity, this one is all. This one, I mean, it's it's never gonna. The pieces are solid. It's just not gonna. It's gonna last.
It's kid friendly.
Yeah.
Children cannot break.
Yeah, my daughter loves the octopus. I mean, as soon as this game comes out, the octopus is gone. I just don't have a chance for that. But yeah, that is my number 9. We're moving on to Darius's now.
Okay, so it should say YAMATAI somewhere.
Yes. But right above, right left hand side. I'm pointing at the screen like I'm pointing at you.
Yeah, because I can see that.
Yeah.
It's YAMATAI, which is what is it? It's a set collecting, resource management, sort of like Century Spice Road but with boats. If anyone's played that, you're essentially collecting your ships, delivering to islands, and in the meantime, taking over the islands. That part doesn't sound very interesting, but when you can start to hire your gods to start helping you with all these trades, you can start building shrines and temples for extra points, depending on if you build on a mountain or next to somebody else. There's so many different ways to get points in that game. I'm religiously rubbish at it. I tend to get beaten by Jade quite often, but it's an absolutely brilliant game. Stunner on the table. The artwork is fantastic. If you're into Japanese themed games that are colourful, and actually one massive thing that I really enjoy about this game is the variable play order. So if you set up your go properly on one round, you can end up taking a second turn in a row.
Okay.
Which is a big. So I really like the fact that the whole game you're trying to set yourself up to have sort of combos, as it were. Yeah, you'd have to play it to kind of get that, but I really like the player turn order in that, and it is one that I prefer with 2 players because of that fact. You actually get 2 goes in a round, and if you plan it properly, you can end up banging out 4 goes in one round. So it is magnificent, absolutely magnificent. But yeah, that's YAMATAI.
So I was just looking in your background. Do I see Monopoly Beetles?
Yes, you do up here.
Wow. So this video is going to end now.
It's underrated, that one.
This is number 1. Oh, I've just let everyone know.
Oh no. Yeah, that's my number 9.
So on to my number 8. This is Planet. I mean, this is Blue Orange Games. So again, this is another sort of kiddie game. This is This is such a good game. I'm not going to look at the screen.
Sorry,
you've got your. Oh, then what are they? They're not they're pented.
They are 12-sided. So
Yeah.
a
Dodecahedron. That's the one. Dodecahedron. So yeah, you've got a dodecahedron that you have to literally build a planet on.
huge as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's a really tactile game. It's another good game for kids. It's just you're creating your planet. You're trying to add all pieces. It's just such a good game. I think we've
magnetic pieces, aren't they?
Yeah, we did. I think this is another playthrough I did with you and Jess as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we did. Yeah.
And
Back in back in the day.
This is back when I started. That was one of my first.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, this game, it's so good. I must admit I don't play it as much, but I just love it. It's just, I love you have to sit there and you're like, where can this go? I need to try to make the biggest continent of sand. And you're sitting there going, oh, where is it? And you're spinning it around. It's
the three-dimensional
yeah.
element in that is what really draws you to the game.
Yeah.
If that were laid out in front of you on an equivalent of flat Earth,
yeah.
That wouldn't be as interesting. But
Yeah.
the fact you've got this physical ball in your hand, you feel like God.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're trying to get you're just trying to get certain species for certain areas. It's such a fun game. It's definitely. I don't hear much buzz about it. I never really heard much buzz when it was released. I got it.
No,
I got it new. And
Expo was played a bit. Then no, didn't see anything after that.
It's just such a fun little game. It's definitely my number 8, top underrated.
Yeah.
So,
What's
yeah.
the rate of that one? Out
So
of interest.
this is only a 6.8.
Okay.
It's still not bad, but yeah, it's only a 6.8.
Typical children game rating. That is really.
Yeah. So now we're on to Darius's number 8.
Number 8. Yeah. So this is Blueprints. This is what is that? Massively accessible if you buy it in German. I struggled to find an English version, but I was lucky I did. There's a lot of rave about Sagrada, Role Player, all these dice manipulation games, and dice drafting, but Blueprints just doesn't seem to come up in any conversation when people say, oh, I want a dice drafting game similar to Sagrada. No one ever really suggests this one. Blueprints is essentially you're using dice that you draft to make a 3-dimensional building, but you're making it in secret the entire time behind a hidden board.
Okay.
Each of the coloured die have their own scoring, plus you've got scoring cards that are out on the table that you're trying to collect before other players. And there's some interesting shapes on there, but you play 3 rounds, so you're actually making 3 buildings throughout the game. And I just find that for a dice drafting game, it should be up there alongside Sagrada and such, but it's just not. It's really easy to play. I think it takes about half an hour, so 10 minutes a round.
Okay.
And once you've got your die, you can do what you want with the building. So the next person be going while you're making your building. It doesn't really matter what you're doing behind your screen. It can go on to the next person as soon as you've got your die. But it's the scoring element. There are so many ways to score your die, depending on what colours you get, what numbers they are. I really enjoy it, especially for such a short filler game. And it should be as good as Sagrada, but it's not.
Do you know what? I struggled to find the even image for this.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I don't think it's in circulation or in print. Did you find an image?
Yeah, I luckily BGG had one, or like any game you can find it on BGG, but that is the only place I could find an image for this. There was nothing. I literally was trying to research this because I was like, what the hell is it? And struggled to find any info on this game. So
I'm trying to find a copy now and I can't even find it. That's good, isn't it? I love it so much.
It's not behind you. I'm trying to see. No.
No, it's a. Yeah. No, I can't find it because I was going to get it out, but no, never mind. It's gone.
That's cool.
Wherever it is.
Yeah. So
that's my 8.
And so on to my number 7. And this is the Dwarfs or Die. I can't speak German. Whatever the dwarfs is in German. So this game
is shit. Sorry. Carry on.
Me and Amy love this game.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, what was the rating on your last one? Sorry, we didn't say.
Oh,
I wanted
6.9.
6.9.
So yeah,
So yeah, this one, I really enjoy it. I played this at the last OnCon. This was a game that Pegasus Spiel actually gave me to demo for them.
Yeah.
Thanks Pegasus Spiel for loads of review games or demo games. It wasn't even a review. This was demo, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they supported us. Yeah.
And I played this for the full 2 days, nearly non-stop. It was. It's really. It's a co-op game. You're trying to defeat the bad guys, but it's the way all the bad guys represented are little cubes. Your characters are minis, but the way you play the tiles and they come out on the board, it's very unique. This game in Germany is probably one of the most popular games at cons. So if anyone goes to Essen, you'll probably see people playing this. This is what Pegasus Spiel was saying. This is probably one of their biggest con games for people playing it because the way it is. You personally don't like it.
No, it's awful.
The amount of people we got playing it during the event that loved this game.
I played it after OnCon when you guys came over. Yeah, it did nothing for me, unfortunately. But hey ho.
Yeah, I must admit, I have not played this game since OnCon because.
Oh, okay.
I played it 2 days straight. I got to the point where I'm burnt out on it. I mean, Andy's even painted the minis. I'm going to actually do a proper video on this soon because I do love this game. I mean, you can see Darius can't on the box on the picture. It won so many German awards. It's insane. It's a really popular game.
To be fair, Germans like Catan as well, so we can't really go by that, can we?
But yeah, this is a 6.9 on BGG as well. So it's one of them. It's okay, same as Blueprints, but yeah,
meh. Yeah.
I mean,
fair play.
So yeah.
No, I know you're a big fan of that one. So
yeah, I just love the unique of the way the bad guys come onto the board. I think that is such a unique mechanism.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's got very unique mechanisms that I've never seen on any other game, and it's enjoyable. Yeah. So on to Darius's number 7.
Corinth. Should say Corinth. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen it? Played it?
I've played it with you.
Oh yeah, of course you did on Tabletop Simulator.
We played it like loads on Tabletop Simulator. Love this game.
This is one I don't own. Unfortunately, I really want to own it. I can't find it anywhere. I think it's out.
Had it. I looked it up. I nearly bought it like after the first few games we played of it.
Okay.
It's available. Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
Play. No, that's okay. No, I'll have to have another look. I know it's a Days of Wonder game. It's a roll and write.
I'm gonna look.
But it's been out for years. It came out way before this whole roll and write era come out with Gonchon Clever and such. I love the theme. It's all based on Greek mythology. It's so easy to play. It's almost a dice drafting game, but actions are dependent on what the group of die roll. You're essentially trying to get money and goats to fill up your markets, but at the same time as filling up your markets, you're also trying to build structures on the right-hand side. You're also trying to collect items up in the top row. There's a lot going on for such a simple game.
Yeah.
Plays 20 minutes, and it's quite addictive because I always get rubbish scores on it. So I want to try and do better every time. It is massively dependent on what you roll. So if you roll 6 ones, or no, how many is it? No, sorry, it's 9 die. So you roll 9 ones. Well, one person's getting 9 goats. It's that. So it could be dependent on the luck of the roll, but I still think the game you have to think about your own luck. So yeah, Corinth, absolutely wonderful game. Can't get a hold of it yet, but I'm definitely going to look on Zatu after.
Zatu, 14.98. 5 in stock.
5 in stock. Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
I'm on it. I get paid tomorrow. What a shame.
What's the rating? BGG?
Only 6.8.
Wow. It's the same as Planet.
And it's ranked 1,762.
Wow. I would say that's
Ranked really low.
I would say that's easy a 7.1, 7.2. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for families. Jess loves it. Well, I played it up a con. That's how I found it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, when Darius got when I played it on Tabletop Simulator, I literally looked at it and went, "Do I buy it? Do I buy it?" And didn't. But yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah, no, it is good.
So on to my number 6.
Yes.
And this is Papua.
Oh yes.
This was my first ever review game. Oh, actually, no, my second, because my first was Awful Orphanage. But I got given this one. This was my first ever game I got given as a reviewer. And I'm so glad I did. This was thanks to Stephen. He actually sent me a few Cosmos games and Devia games, and this was one of them. And it's so good. It's a worker placement. It's basically a worker placement. It's got some dice chuck in. You've got some set collection. It's just such a good game. It's reading the rulebook, you do get a bit overwhelmed. The rulebook is not the best, but when you actually get down to playing it, it is really solid worker placement. But I mean, this was 2018. It was released, I think, and there was no talk about it. It was no buzz, and
no, I haven't seen the UK Games Expo last year. I saw Hayden demoing it.
Yeah.
But no, didn't see it. I've never seen it anywhere else.
It's one of their games that should be getting so much more love than what it does. It's a really solid worker placement.
It's one I do want to try.
I would probably put it Stone Age level worker placement.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I would play this over. I love Lords of Waterdeep. I think I'd play this over Lords of Waterdeep.
Okay.
All day long, Champions of Midgard. I'll play this over that. I'm not a massive fan of that. I need the expansions, I think. I think I've heard but this, it's solid. It's a base game. It's solid. You're just going around the jungle of Papua. You're trying to collect stuff. It's just such a solid game. The rating is only a 6.9. It's one of them games where I think if people tried it, they would enjoy it. It's just there's no talk. So yeah.
Produced, made, and forgotten.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many games that come out nowadays. You do get them, and this is one.
Slips through the net.
Yeah.
Fair play.
So on to Darius's number 6.
So strangely, another Cosmos game, Kerala. So this is the Way of the Elephant. A little story behind it.
It's behind you.
Is it behind me?
Directly behind you. I saw it underneath Dominion.
Oh yes, Kerala. Look at the beautiful box, and it's shiny as well. Look at those shiny elephants. Wow. Anyway, this is a tile laying game where you've got an elephant parade, and you're trying to keep all your coloured carpets or flooring or whatever they use in the parade. You need to keep the colours together whilst your elephants are parading around doing whatever their business is. Now, for a tile laying, it's drafting as well. But for a tile laying game, I don't know why it's got much more buzz than it does. It's on the level of Carcassonne, in my opinion. Perhaps maybe even better, I would say. Wow. Very simplistic. I've been playing this every time we went to Playopolis. I'd play it with Jess. We would get that out as the first game to play because we couldn't get hold of it. Interesting story behind this one, and maybe why it's not talked about as much, is Cosmos stopped producing it because the elephant parade that it's kind of copying, this whole elephant Kerala parade, whatever it's called. I think it's called Kerala out there. The way they treat the elephants, in reality, it's extremely cruel. So apparently they stopped producing it because of that. Now, why they can't just change the theme and keep the mechanics. There is no theme in that game. I don't even think elephants unless I'm looking at my wooden piece elephant. Don't even. You could replace it with 2 meeples for all I care. Seriously, there's no theme to it at all. It's entirely abstract, but it's the tile drafting. It's the fact that you're laying out as many tiles as there are per player, and you're stressing that you want that one particular tile. It's got that element of I wanted that one, or they take what you didn't want. Yes, it's got that excitement to it. It's fast paced. Boom, my turn, done. Next person. It's just wonderful tile laying, and as I said, on the level of Carcassonne in my opinion. But
good.
Not seen, not heard of anywhere else.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know about it until I saw your list. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's the BGG?
The BGG is it's a 6.8 and it's ranked 2,303.
Wow.
Look at the inside.
Wow. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think get rid of the elephants, give it a different theme, and re-release it, and I think it'll be very popular.
Yeah. This is there was a few on your list that I had no clue about. It was
Fair enough.
But so
number 5.
Yeah, my number 5. This is Netatunka. This I love this game. This was this is another Kickstarter game. It's I love this game. It's probably my favourite worker placement game. It is the way it's beautiful. I mean, the main reason why I got this game originally is because it's stunning. The cover is stunning. The whole theme of it is the war chief has died and you're all fighting clans trying to become the next chief. So you're trying to earn the respect of the elders and all this, and it's got a lovely mechanic where if you do a certain job that you have to do, you'd technically lose that meeple for another turn because he has to go on to another thing. There's like little paths where he will have to go down and do something else instead. It's got a really good mechanism of like the worker placement. It's so good. There's so many different ways to win this game, and again, I've done a video of this. I did a playthrough. Really enjoyable game. This is it came out, didn't get any love. People talked about it for a few weeks, and I've not heard anything about it since.
No, I've only ever seen it on your shelf.
Yeah, and I personally
and in the Handicon library, it was there.
Okay,
but it was on the shelf the whole weekend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not known. It's a French company. There's no massive designers on it, so that's probably why people are like, I don't know them designers.
The name probably doesn't really help.
Yeah,
because when you see Netatunka, I go, what the hell's that about? And you can't really tell by the cover either what it's about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's if you play it, it's a really good worker placement. If you love worker placements, this is definitely one for you. I mean, I've got the deluxe edition with all the lovely wooden pieces and all the extra stuff. It's everything. It's got little box inserts. Everything goes inside it. It's so nice. It's probably the best stored game because everything has its place, and it's just so nice. But yeah, this one is definitely a good one. It's 7.0 rated, so it's better than some. But I mean, it needs to be. If you play it, you will. If you love your worker placements, play it. You will love it. It's set collection worker placement. It's just so fun. And
nice.
On to Darius's number 5.
I believe it's one of Jay's favourites. Oh, here we go. It's so
shit. I mean,
not loved by a lot of people. Not loved by a lot of people. It is one of those ones that you've got to play with 5 people. And I know you say, well, it says 2 on the box, so it should play well at 2. No, it's an area control worker placement. It needs 5 people. It's The Godfather. It's a gang control worker placement game where you are shooting each other and throwing each other in the river,
or shooting everyone, killing me and ruining my whole game.
Well, there is that as well. Yes, I do you know what? Actually, I get why people don't like this one. I actually do get it. There isn't really a lot to it. I think what I like about it is not even so much the area control bit. I just love the fact that I can hide my money in that tin, and I think that just has that awesome feeling of, well, I know what I've got in here, and then you can shut it down and go, you're never looking at that tin. Until then someone goes, oh, I'm going to rob all your money out of your tin. And you go, oh, well, okay, then have the lot. Considering it is a worker placement with that typical dry, collecting guns, narcotics, drink, or whatever else you can collect, and then you just spend them to do these missions, which you're not. You're just playing Ticket to Ride with mission cards. I get that. It's dry as hell, but there's something so fun when you're playing with 5 people, just to go, I'm going to randomly, I'll tell you what, I'm going to shoot your dude, and I'm going to shoot your family member, throw him in the river, and then you can look at your money and go, ha ha ha, it's hidden in my suitcase. I would never play it with 2. I don't really enjoy it with 3. Even 4 players a bit boring. It's got to be with 5. It's just for that extra. In fact, I feel you drew the short straw when we played it, because we played it 3-player. If you play it 3-player, it becomes 2 versus 1, and it's horrible. It's all when it's 5 people.
If you watch the video I did of this, at the beginning I was really looking forward to it. You could see the excitement in my eyes. By the end, because I think I did split this up into 3 videos. By the 3rd video, you could see the hatred in my eyes. You could just see me going, I want this to end. I had this whole thing planned out that I was going to do. Then Darius killed me, and then Ryan killed me, and I was like, well, that's just ruined my whole game. There's no way. I mean, my only chance of actually doing something that game was to do this, and then everyone just killed me. And it's like, why me? Ryan, you were doing better than me, and you're all ganging on the person who's doing the worst. It's like, yay!
Well, we are the Mafia, and we don't care what you say.
And it's another Simon game in my mind that unnecessary minis.
The minis are so unnecessary.
It's a way for them to make you spend more money, and I hate games that do that. That's my biggest pet peeve, when games charge you stupid money for a mini when it don't need it.
No, to be fair, I got this on sale. I really like the game, but I refused to spend 70 quid on it. I think maybe this is why a lot of people don't have it. Anyway, I got it for sale for 30 quid, so I'm happy.
I've got to mention, like, Awaken Realms' new worker placement, the Great Wall. I've got that. I've kickstarted the version with the meeples, so it was cheap, and instead of the minis, because the minis was like crazy expensive, and I could buy a reasonable price, really good game with meeples. That, to me, worker placements, you don't need anything more than meeples.
No, not really. Yeah. No, I agree on that one.
Yeah. So my little rant of that game. I literally felt shame putting this on the list. I was just like,
I don't know.
I nearly wrote over it, but I was like, no, be respectful. Be respectful.
Oh, I wouldn't have defended. Don't worry.
Darius wouldn't ever seen it until we watched back. And
that's true. Yeah, I would have never known.
So, on to my number 4. This is Mega City Oceania. So,
it looks so good.
Actually, what was the rating of BGG? Did you say?
Oh, Godfather is 7.6.
Wow.
And it's and on my whole list, it's the highest one in the ranking at 311.
Wow, that's shocking.
7.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, very shocking. Yeah, I was surprised with the 7.6.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Mega City Oceania. This is a dexterity tile stacking. It's hard to explain what this game is. I've done a live video of it, so it's all real time. You're all sitting there. You pull pieces out of the bag, and you can sit there trying to build a tower. Effectively, you're trying to get the highest tower. You're stacking up all these odd-shaped pieces. You have cards that tell you that build a tower with no glass. So you've got clear, grey, and dark grey. It represents glass, steel, and concrete. So you're trying to. Certain cards will tell you to build a tower with just glass. and then you've got to build it on. So I've got the player mat. It's unnecessary, but it's giant. It doesn't even fit on my table. Literally, it's massive. It's easier to slide the pieces. Then you're working in your corners, and then you have to slide. You tell everyone to stop when it's your turn. They all have to take their hands off the table, because whenever it's everyone's turn, you can just sit there still playing with your pieces. That's what I like about it. There's no downtime. You're just forever going, can I do this? Can I do that? And you're forever stacking. It's just so fun. And you go, stop! And then you sit there with one finger. You have to slide your tower across the table with the player mat on a grid without it falling over. And if you knock it over, you'd have to take it back. If you knock other people's over, you take penalties. And it's just so fun, because you're like, don't do it. And then me, because this is me, if you watched the live video I try and build these stupid tall towers. That's my main goal in that game. And you're slowing there going, oh my god, don't fall. And you get it, and you're like, yes, I've achieved it. Yes. And then it's just, it's so fun. It is.
That's interesting. I've not seen a dexterity game where after you've built what you need to do, you then have to move the entire thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're sitting there, you're trying to build these towers, but then you're like, I can't build it too fragile and too tall, because it's going to make it all the way over there. And certain cards limit you to a certain amount of pieces. So you might only be able to use 8 pieces, and you're trying to build this tall tower with 8 really oddly shaped pieces, and you're like, how am I going to do this? And it's so fun.
I'm going to try it. It looks so good.
I can imagine on a big table, 4 people playing this, it would just be hilarious. It would just it's such a good game. But
no, I've seen it. I've seen you post it, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's a game it's quite. I think it's came out last year. It's not that old.
Yeah.
I think it came out at the end of last year, and it's just got no love. And it's like, to me, this is such a good game. Hub Games actually sent me. I think this was a review game with the mat. And,
it was. Yeah.
And I love this game. This is such an amazing game. But yeah, the rating as well, I'm going to quickly find it, is a 7.0. So could be better.
Yeah.
I need. Yeah. I need to write down the rankings. I've not done that. That was stupid. But yeah.
That's all right.
So on to Darius's number 4.
Number 4, probably one you've not heard of. It wasn't one that I heard of until someone lent it to me. It looked very intriguing.
Don't even
I
know
had
the
no
company.
idea what it was about. It's about the River Olm, and you're travelling along the river via your boat. And no matter wherever your boat is along that trail, is the section of the city that you can build in. So you're trying to get to the end of the river to get more points, but the quicker you go towards the end of the river, the less building and other points you can get. So it's a point salad. That in itself is quite... I like a lot of worker placements games with a slight bit of area control. But what does it for me, this game, is the actions you do. So you get a 9x9 grid, 3x3 grid. So you've got 9 actions. You've got a bag of these tiles that you add to, and you take one out of the bag, and you have to slide it in this grid. Now you can slide it in any direction. As you slide it along, you're then going to pick a row of 3 actions from your newly created movement. Very much, it's like Labyrinth. Do you remember the Labyrinth maze game where you have to
Never
push
played it. Never played it.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like that. It's like, if I go there, then I can get around that maze that way. But it's in terms of actions. But also, you don't want to push into certain areas. So you go, right, I want those 3 actions in a row. On the edges are the building types where people will get bonuses if they've already built there. So say if it were your building, I don't want to push my tile onto where you've claimed a building, because then you're going to get bonuses. But I really want that 3 combination of actions. So it's that way. It really, I've never seen that the action selection with the tiles in any game. That's what draws me to this game, and I don't know why it's not played more. It's I guess a dry Euro, but I think it's still on the lines of Great Western Trail type of game. Okay. Maybe Rococo. It reminds me a lot of Rococo, actually, if anyone's played that. Just replace dresses with. No, never heard of it.
I was actually trying to look for it a minute ago, but I don't know where it actually is.
See,
yeah.
I did not even know this game until I saw the list, and my problem is I think of Red Dwarf when I hear this game.
Oh yeah,
the Om song.
Don't know if anyone can see. Oh, and not to mention, it's got a 3-dimensional. Where is it? There is a 3-dimensional cathedral.
Okay.
Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that.
It's gone all blurry.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have a 3. Oh, maybe I could build it while you're doing your next one. I'll build the.
It's yeah. I don't even know the company. Don't know the game.
Yeah, Hoochie. I've not heard of these guys before.
Nope. Never heard of Hoochie.
Beautiful game, boring as hell box, but lovely game inside.
Yeah.
It's a 7.1.
Okay.
And it's rated 986, so it's actually rated higher than Corinth and Men at Work.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Crazy that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But nobody's playing it.
Yeah. On to my number 3. While Darius builds a cathedral.
Yeah, why not?
Castell. This is.
We just spoke about that.
We spoke about this game. This game is amazing. So, in Spain, you have these towns that compete against each other to build castells. So it's a stack of people trying to get as high as possible, and the whole idea of the game is you're going around town to town with your castell, and you're recruiting new people. You're building like a right on the table flat. You've got to build your rows of stacking people, but you have to have you have to work up with the numbers. You have to start with 10. You can only go lower numbers above the other people. So you might go from a 10 to a 5, but then you could possibly lose all the people. That is actually really cool.
Sorry to distract. This is the 3-dimensional cathedral that you put in the middle of the box.
That's
anyway,
really cool. But yeah, and it's just a stunning game. You get these special abilities where you can actually, because each tower row has to get thinner than the others, but you've got cards that will let you build them so you can be square, and it's just such a fun, brilliant game. It's not spoke about because this game is impossible to get hold of. I don't know if it sells out. I don't hear people talk about this, but you cannot get this game. It's a Renegade game. It's Renegade Games. So it's a brilliant company.
Just can't get hold of them.
It's just, I don't know if it's out of print or
Ex Libre. You can't get hold of Ex Libre either, which is Renegade.
Yeah, it's something about this game. It is, in my mind, amazing. It is probably one of my favourite games because I've never played this. This is on the left. This is me watching a million videos on this game. This is probably my game that I've wanted.
You know how to play it,
yeah.
But only
I know how to play it, but I've never played it. I've watched so many videos on this. This is that one game that it's like I want to get, I need to get, and I can't.
It's on Tabletop Simulator though, isn't it?
Yeah,
we found
I've got it on Tabletop Simulator, but there's a wheel you have to spin. I don't know how that works, and it annoyed me, sure. So I didn't bother with it.
I know that Mark Cook from Aircon, he's a big fan of this. We were due to play this on one of the Handycons. We never got round to it, unfortunately. But yeah, this was one that he kept rating about. He kept saying how good it was, but he's the only person that I've ever seen playing it.
Yeah.
No, I've not seen anybody really playing it. There is I don't know if you knew about this, but there is a card game with the same theme.
Okay.
It's called Castellers rather than Castell. And it's got a very similar theme. The theme's the same, but very similar mechanics to what you were saying, but as a card game. And I played that one, and that's incredible. This whole people stacking.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, look it up on YouTube. Watch the people do this, and you're like, they go 30 feet in the air on top of each other, and then the top person's always this tiny little kid, this like 6-year-old that will climb up people and sit on the top, and you're like, what? And then the tower just crumbles sometimes, and everyone just falls. And you're like, how don't people die doing this? And it's insane. It's
I'm going getting up there is all right.
Yeah.
We ought to get down now.
Yeah, it's insane. It's definitely one of them games that, it's amazing.
Health and safety nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, imagine this in this country. Oh, make sure you've got your safety harnesses on, and where's your scaffolding to support you? And it'd be crap.
British Castell would be awful.
Yeah. It'd be like 2 people high. Oh, you're above health and safety. Watch out for that.
12 feet limit. Brilliant.
So on to Darius's number 3.
Yeah, so this one is Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails. Ticket to Ride is a hugely popular game. It's a train game. You're trying to complete route to route to get more points than your opponents, and you lose points if you don't do those routes, etc. Most of you have probably played Ticket to Ride, or a version of.
Who hasn't?
But sorry,
who hasn't? It's the modern day version of Monopoly.
You said I haven't. I was like, excuse me.
No, I've got two versions of them.
Big release on PS4 recently and Steam, but still no Rails and Sails. They've got all the other expansions, but no Rails and Sails. Rails and Sails is the heavier version of the game, but I find it far more interesting. You're not only doing your trains, but you're doing boats as well. And it's a map of the entire world. What more can you want out of Ticket to Ride, apart from the entire world? And it flips over to the Great Lakes, which is really good as well.
Yeah.
So your Lake Ontario, yeah. And no, I just find it a far more in-depth version of Ticket to Ride. Maybe that's why it's not played as much. Possibly. Because it's price point as well. Yeah, you actually stated it goes for about 50, 60 quid. It is one of the most expensive Ticket to Rides, if not the most.
10th anniversary editions. Yeah,
that's a bit different. But yeah, I think France is probably the one that comes closest. However, in France, you're building your own routes, so I kind of understand that. It's a big old box, actually. I don't know if you can see it in my...
We can see it. I keep seeing games that you've got on the list. I don't know if you purposely put them there, or is that just...
But it's much bigger than the rest of the Ticket to Ride boxes, because there is so much more in there. I think the length of time might put people off, because it does take about 2 hours rather than an hour. But it's far more involved. Far more involved. It's my favourite Ticket to Ride.
Unlike Ticket to Ride London, where it's half hour and you get completely bored out of your mind.
That's stupidly popular. What the hell?
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, we played that. We did the video, and it ended, and I was like,
10 minutes.
I want more. More.
Have you? On that note, I know it's a slight. Have you seen that there's a pandemic? The what's it called? The North America one.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
Hot zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Ticket to Ride London equivalent for Pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Pandemic is a fine game as it is. Why shorten it?
Yeah.
Ugh. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I have no interest in playing that after playing Ticket to Ride London and such. But yeah, no, Rails and Sails is a quality game. Don't see it really played anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I've got a copy because I enjoy it. So
yeah, it's one that I would probably get, but the money for a ticket, for my mind, it's Ticket to Ride for 50 quid.
Yeah.
7.4
rating, so quite highly rated, but it's actually 770 on the ranking, which is top
it's 1,000. That's
really low. What's it? It's lower than my top number one, and I'm surprised it's lower than my top one, but you'll see that in a moment.
Yeah. So, on to my number 2. Number two. The picture, if you could see the size of this picture, mate, on the screen right now. This is Fortune and Glory. This is a mammoth game. I mean, it's literally... Think of Mansions of Madness behind Darius put together twice. It's tall, thick, massive.
I've seen this box. I think it's about this size. Yeah.
I think
It's
it's not as tall as Gloomhaven. I think it's bigger than that. Does that take up 2 spaces on the Kallax?
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it is humongous. This is effectively Indiana Jones, the board game. You're archaeologists trying to get treasures away from Nazis. You can play against the mafia. Who wants to play against the mafia? You want to play against the Nazis. You're going around kicking Nazi arse while trying to get treasures before them. There is a narrative. You kind of have to do this little bit of storytelling when you're doing your mission. If anyone has seen the Will Wheaton's tabletop version of this, it doesn't make any sense. He plays the rules completely wrong because the rule book does not make any sense. The rules on this game are awful. There's about 1 million versions. You play it how you enjoy it. We play it. What we do. It is what it is. But it is.
Just make it up to go along.
We do. You go off the basic rules, and you're like, okay, this is the idea. I'm going to do this, and you might be getting bits wrong, but you're having fun, and that's all that matters in a game.
It's a long one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is probably the biggest table hog ever. I think it's nearly the size of Firefly with the expansions. It's massive.
Yeah.
There's tons of minis all over the place. It's just insane. You've got a little blimp that it's so fun. It is such a fun game.
It looks interesting. I know somebody at the club who raves about it.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have enough time in a Monday night to play it.
No. It's a 2-3+ hour game. It's just enjoyable. It all depends on what scenario and what you do.
That's true.
That's the thing. It's you can make it shorter, you can make it longer. There is actually even a soundtrack CD inside the box, so you can have thematic music while you're playing the game. It's just so fun. It's the biggest game I own. It doesn't get played that much because it is a mission. It's hard work to play it, but it's so fun when you do. And I must admit, it probably doesn't get much love because it is 2012. It was released. It's an older game, but
even older than that, I think maybe.
It's such a good game. This is rated 7.1 on BGG, so not the greatest, but it's such a fun game. It's definitely, if you know someone with a copy other than me, ask them for a game.
Jacob at our club, if you when the club's open again.
I don't know how to play it. I'll be honest. We just made it up as we go along. We're like, we're going to do that. That'll do. Yeah.
So if you play Jay's version, you'll like it.
Yeah, because you'll win.
Nice.
So yes, that's my number 2. On to Darius's.
So this one is Crisis, a worker placement game that I had not heard of before. It's essentially the Greek economy disguised in a board game. The 2 designers are Greek, and they've set the Greek economy crash into a futuristic theme.
It's depressing.
There is, depressing. It is a little bit. There's no real thing to it at all, apart from chuck your workers into factories and buildings, and then get X out of it. However, it's not semi-co-op, but in a sense it is. Now, it does something I've never seen in another game, but what it does is I want to see in more games, and it's the target. You've played, haven't you, before?
Yeah, we've got video. We've done a video of this.
Of course we have, yes. Yeah, I thought we had. It's the fact that you have an average point score that you need to hit, and if you don't, then you're going to be bringing down the group economy. However, you still win if you're above that average. So if the economy crashes but you're above that point threshold, the point threshold then goes up every round. So it might go, right, you need to get 19 points this turn. Next one, now you need 24. Now you need 50. And then it shoots up and up and up. And it's that trying to get as many points out of your actions so that the economy doesn't crash. Now, if you're behind, you're actually wanting to assist those who are in front just so that the game can continue. And if you're in front and you're above the average, then who cares? Let the economy crash.
Or you could do me and bring everyone down and make everyone lose.
Yeah, because you could all lose. Yeah, if nobody's above the average at the end of the game when it crashes, well, then yeah, nobody wins. Really interesting mechanic. Even when you play it, you want to try and win, but you do have that partial co-op at the beginning. You all discuss what you want, what benefits. Right, yeah, he needs that because that will get him 7 points. I need this because to start with, everyone wants the game to run. You get halfway through, and then it becomes the most selfish game ever. And I really enjoy that mechanic. But it's not played much. I hadn't heard of it until I went to WrightCon, which was at Steve Wright's house, and he said play this game called Crisis.
I might do a MeepleCon and just have a few people around go, yeah, it's my convention.
It's my convention at my house. To be fair, he did fit about 30 people in his house.
Oh yeah, I won't get that. I'm lucky if I get 13.
You could, but we could play a big game of Yogi. But
yeah,
no, it is a typical worker placement game, but it's got a lot more to it that I haven't seen in any other game. But I want to see that mechanic more.
All I remember of this game was Darius and Ryan were sitting there going, "Oh, if we do this and do that, I'll get you above the top and all this." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna purposely screw everyone over." I swear that was literally what was going through my whole mind towards the end of that game, because you two were like going shooting off, and I'm like, "What can I do to mess everyone up?"
You have to learn that game, definitely.
Yeah.
As in learn the tactics.
Yeah, it was my first game, and we did a playthrough video of it, and it was. I mean, I really enjoyed this. It was very depressing because you're like, we can do them well, and then it goes up, and you're like, oh my god, now I'm doing crap. And yeah,
the economy's doing it. Ticks up, green, bang into the red. No, you're all screwed.
Yeah.
No, I like that game. Yeah, it's very good.
What's the BGG?
It's 7.6, so quite high, but it's ranked 958.
Okay.
Which is, Godfather, much less than Godfather, and it's much less than my number one. So
yeah, I know you're number one.
I don't know. No?
You don't know my number one.
I want to find out because I'm intrigued.
My number one. I told Darius the rating on this already, and I think he was like quite shocked with the rating. This is Obsession. This was in my last video. This was my number 9 favourite game, 8 not favourite game.
Yeah, upset.
This game is amazing. It's do you know what? I'm going to tell you the BGG rating already. It's at 8.1, and
that's crazy.
Yeah,
and no one's playing it.
Yeah, that's how good the game is. It's the mechanics are perfect. Everything about this game is perfect. The new Kickstarter, the second edition, is released. It's coming with all like box inserts, and he just showed a video recently of it, and oh my god, it looks amazing. This is going to be up to 6 player now, and I can imagine even with 6 players, it's going to be fun. It's such everything.
Is it the Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey, yeah. So it's Downton Abbey universe, but it is just so good that the theme suits everything you're doing. You're trying to get all like the workers to do certain things, and you're trying to build parts of your mansion or your stately home, and like you're trying to add tennis courts or bowling alleys, and you're all trying to eventually date each, like you're working around through the board, and it gets to a point where you have to, whoever's got the most points ends up dating the Fairchilds, I think they're called, and they give you bonuses, and you'll carry on playing until next chance for someone to date the Fairchilds. You're trying to woo this rich family into your household, in other words, and it's just such a fun game. The mechanics are spot on. The designer of this game is amazing. He is such a nice bloke. I literally cannot rate this game highly enough. This is seriously, if you see this game, play it. It's so good. It's probably, it is a worker placement, but it's tile placement. It's got so many little mechanics, but they work. They're seamlessly put together. Everything is quality. he's just done such a good job, and this second edition's even better. So normally the box is like quite thin, the first edition. This next one, the box is like that. You can fit all the expansions, you can fit everything into it. I think there's 3 expansions for it now. He's actually, even because of COVID, not even his problem. He's everyone did like designed custom tiles that were you could publish them through BGG, and he's actually printed them all for the game and given everyone a copy of them. When I originally got this game, about a month later, I got a set of promo cards through the post because he printed them and he was sending them to everyone. He literally he goes all out. If you buy the game, he will literally. I think it is his passion. This game is his.
It's his passion, yeah.
And he wants everyone to have the best time ever, and it is.
8.1 is really quite high. Yeah.
For an 8.1 game that doesn't get any love, it's just like how don't people know about this game? Okay, it's an American designer.
It's the box art.
It's probably because the box art is the most boring box on the face of the earth. The second edition is the same box art, it's just bigger. So it looks boring. You look at it, you see that on the shelf, you're like, that looks crap, laters. But then you play it and wow, it's one of the most solid games where everything works well together. I think this is going to take a lot to ever come off my top 10 list. And I think this second edition, it might bump it up higher for the quality.
Yeah.
So, that is my number one obsession. On to Darius's.
Really wow.
Yeah, it is what I said to you, it's 8.1, and I bet you were like, what game is it? And, yeah.
No, not that played much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it's up now.
Yeah.
So this is the highest rating out of all the games that I've listed on here. It's a 7.9, but ranked at 702. This is the City of Kings. A lot of people... Sorry, I just realised I'm going to turn my light on. It's got very dark in here. 1 second.
I wanted to mention, but I didn't want to...
I just looked in the room and thinking, it's got awfully dark all of a sudden.
This is why I have my lighting on, so
there we go.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah. Sorry, let me carry on. So yeah, the City of Kings, a lot of people know is one of my favourite games. I've been playing it a lot recently. It's a city exploring game. You've got different scenarios and stories that you play through, including the 12-hour one, which I will complete at some point. Not all the scenarios are that long, by the way. Most of them are about 2 to 3 hours. It's got an element of, a bit like Scythe with the resource collection. You're trying to level up your characters as much as you can. I think really look back at my top 10 list when I talk about it, because I absolutely love it. I can play this over and over. I cannot get bored of it. It's just really addictive. The monster generations are completely random, but they're always different. I actually looked on his website recently. When I was looking for Isle of Cats, I saw a bit of information about City of Kings. There are more than 10 million different monster variations for City of Kings. So that's how different the monster abilities can come out. I absolutely love this game, as a lot of people know. Yeah. But it's just not played by anybody. I follow a group, which is the City of Kings Facebook group, but that's got about 2 people talking in it at any one time, and it's mostly one guy playing it solo. I don't know if because Isle of Cats has come out that Frank's followers are probably playing a lot of that at the moment. Totally different games, Isle of Cats and City of Kings. Completely different. But Isle of Cats certainly is getting more love than City of Kings, even though I find the City of Kings is far more involved. It's got that typical dungeon crawling game where you're leveling up. You want your healer, you want your bulky guy, you want the guy who's fluky as hell, and you want to up your worker stats at the same time. But I just don't know why this one's not played as much. 7.9, which is fairly high. Not as high as Obsession, though, which is strange. And it's a co-op game as well. People like their co-op. So I don't know why I don't see it more. But definitely play it more.
I've actually gone on to BGG to actually look at the ranking of Obsession. 1067.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's almost on the same line as Men at Work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 8.1. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Dan Halligan, the designer, is.
Who?
Dan Halligan. It's literally his only game, I think. He's an American. He's such a nice bloke. He is. I think if he does ever release another game, I will probably go buy it for the fact that what he has done. I mean, he's sending us a game for free because we reviewed his game, because we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's insane. I think what it was, I went to back it, and I didn't have the money, so obviously I had to cancel, or I couldn't send the funds over, and he actually personally messaged and said, what's happened, just because obviously I think he just wants to see why I wasn't paying for my pledge, and I just said I haven't got the funds. I think this was when I was had my appendix out, or one of the awful things that happened to me over the last 3 years. It was something.
But
one
that's nice of him.
Yeah, and he was like, because we reviewed it. It was like, look, I just send you a copy with everything, and it was just like, wow. Okay, thank you so much.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I think we did a live stream and then we did a proper video on it, and it's definitely a game that it just doesn't get love, and it's
I'm
crazy.
shocked by half of these games that don't get love. Why?
Yeah.
But there's this whole.
Let's go back onto the chatting screen.
People want new, don't they?
Yeah.
People want new all the time. What's the latest? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. But these are just little classics that just never seen the light. Maybe they were popular when they first came out. I mean, a lot of these games actually came out before I was into the hobby, so maybe I didn't see when they originally come out. A lot of these are discontinued. I know for a fact that Yamatai has been discontinued now. Kerala's definitely been discontinued. I've never seen Ulm. Blueprints, never really seen. Corinth was out of print, but you said you found 5 copies, so I'll definitely be snapping that up at some point. And I think Crisis was it wasn't even Kickstarter, it was a crowdfunder or something like that. It wasn't Kickstarter though, it was a different type of funding page for that. And City Kings I've seen at retail once, but not anymore.
Do you know the one game I was expecting to see on your most underrated games?
Go on.
Hamburgum.
Yeah. Actually, I'm very surprised by that. Yeah.
I was expecting that to appear on your list, because we played that. We tried working that one out, and we played it and got to the end and were like, this game is amazing. I mean, look at that. It looks crap.
It looks so shit. It's unreal. But yeah, this was one that I just got out. Again, it was one of those ones that I got given. Look at it. Boring as hell. However,
the gameplay is so good.
That's the map in there. It's a heavy box. I mean, it's a Concordia sized box. It's massive. But that's a comparison to my head. Yeah. No, I thought about putting this one on, but I could kind of see why this maybe isn't played as much, because it doesn't do anything really special. You're collecting 2 resources, 3 if you include the bells. Yeah. There's not really much else to it, but it is good fun.
Yeah. I was expecting that. When I saw your list, I was like, oh my god, that's not on there. But yes, I'll run through, while we're nattering, I'll run through my top 10. So my number 1's Obsession and Fortune Glory, Castel, Megacity Oceana, Netatunka, Papua, The Dwarfs, or in German, I can't speak German. I've got it written there. Planet, Beast of Balance, and Spirits of the Forest. That is my number 10. Definitely, guys, check out, if you can see them games, check them out. If you can borrow them to play them, give them a try, they're worth it. Now, Darius's top 10.
So yeah, mine was The City of Kings #1, Crisis #2, Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sales specifically #3. #4 was Ulm. #5, The Godfather, or the Corleone's Empire, whatever it's called. Kerala was #6, Corinth #7. #8 was Blueprints. #9 Yamatai, and #10 Men at Work. And these
I'll go back to us, but yeah,
all are underrated in my opinion.
Definitely. So, what would you guys like to see as our next top 10? We're going to try and do it next week, or because we said we are going to do this weekly.
Yes, yeah, we'll get one next week. Yeah, and it will be earlier than. What day did we do it before? I can't remember. We'll get it in the week. Yeah.
I'm off again now because I was expecting to go back to work on the 4th, and that's all gone out the window. I've potentially got another month off work, so I've got more time for videos.
That's all right then. Yeah. Well, hey.
Actually, what have I got here? I've got things all over my office gaming room. What have I got? Small box games, intro games. I did actually say some to you.
Yeah, you did. I quite like the idea. What, like the gateway games?
Gateway games, yeah.
Gateway, yeah. Actually, that would be a real good one. I think, especially if we get some. Because as you know, with Uncon, I had an entire section dedicated to gateway games.
Yeah.
We set up. I won't say them because unless you were there, because they'll potentially go on a list. We had, in my opinion, the best gateway games, and that's just based on what was popular at the club and what got people into the hobby. Yeah, definitely.
I think for me,
I think I already know my #1.
I think for me, I'm going to struggle for my list, but I've got a week to work on it. I'll probably sit down with my pen and paper right now and start a list. I am starting to add stuff that I don't own because obviously I don't have a giant collection like Darius. I have like 100 games, but
to be fair, ours is dwindling down. I managed to get rid of quite a lot.
Do you ever get rid of Hamburger?
Yeah, I'll let you know. It might stay in the collection for a little while, but
yeah.
But
so
I'll let you.
That's it, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Did anyone comment while we were?
We did. We had loads of people watching it at some point. Actually, Sarah Street. I see. It's not come up with comments on my bloody stream, but down there it did. And
no. So what did?
She commented, Castell was the second game I played at my first con.
Nice.
I never knew what it was called. I really enjoyed it. So Sarah's played it. So there we go. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, comment below, guys. This is going to be put to YouTube, or anyone watching it on YouTube. This is on YouTube now. Yeah, we will be back with our next top 10 in a week.
Which we want ideas for. Yes.
Yeah. Comment below. Let us know your ideas. Give us this video a share. Follow me. Follow Darius. I'm going to hopefully have some hashtags and stuff next video. Each video I'm improving. You guys will see I'm adding more and more to the video.
You're doing. To be fair, behind the scenes, you're doing a lot of work.
I've spent 2-3 days sorting this out. I tried to do a whole different thing and it didn't work. I think I'm just going to keep this. This works. I'm going to keep this.
Yeah.
I just need an hour to set it up. It works.
Yeah.
I'm done. Sod it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys, for watching.
Thanks for watching. Yeah. We'll catch you later.
We will see you in the next video. Bye.